I'm is live. Starting a little early, guys and gals. Starting a little early tonight. Might be a few come in early. Might be a few come in late. Woo. We'll get back to doing a little tackle talk. Show y'all how I set up some stuff. Or Josh, Chunky Cats. What's up, Mr. Elstan? PD, what's going on, buddy? Get back to doing a little tackle talk tonight. Team Reeling the Blues. What's up, Mr. Jeff Manning? There's Wicked Whisker Outdoors. Everybody, new channel. Check him out. Share some bait with the boy. Appreciate y'all coming in. Been a while since we done any tackle talk. Been busy, so I hadn't been scheduling anybody for shows here lately. Probably start back next week, making some calls. I just figured we got a lot of new people coming in. There's Palmetto Cats and Joe Buck. Figured it was time for me to get back in touch with some of y'all. There's Avid, right here in front of God and everybody. I do want to apologize to you. I keep forgetting. I go to bed early, guys, and I keep forgetting about his show. Please check out Avid on Friday nights. He has a good show. Avid, I go back and watch his shows. I do miss it on Friday nights, and I do want to apologize to you. There's Catfish in Tennessee, Kentucky Outdoors. Bottom dollar. I appreciate you sharing that for me a little while ago. But guys, I'm going to go over a few things tonight, do a little tackle talk, answer a few questions if you have any. If you've got something to bring up, tell us about your trips, about your fishing, about how you fish. Yeah, Avid, I know, man, but I do want to make sure I show support to everybody that comes in, show support for my channel. I do, and I want to apologize, guys. There's Catawba Backwoods in the house. Yeah, I just want to get a little started because I got some tackle I need to pull out, and I'm going to be cutting some stuff loose off these rods back here behind me and retying up. I brought two of my bobbers up that I'm starting to make. I brought them up tonight, two of them, to kind of show you how I'm going to set them up for fishing. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's right. Bottom dollar, that's what I'm all about. And I think y'all guys know that it's we in here to help each other out, setting hooks and crossing eyes. What's going on, my friend? I just we all here to help and share the love, get it done. That's what it's all about, helping each other out, helping each other's channel out. And plus share some information, guys. Great information out there that we all can use. But let's get this started by saying God bless America, guys. God bless each and every one of you. I just want to thank you for coming in. Thank you for showing support. There's Cody. This show couldn't go on without you. It makes me want to get up and come up here and get it done. What's up, Jason? And invite y'all into my home. And I apologize to you for not being able to get out and do much fishing. In fact, no fishing lately. I've got so much stuff going on around the house that I'm just not getting out there. Mr. Mike Greenwell, got to get up with you too, buddy. We missed our chance a while back to get you on here. I dang sure want to get you on here on the show. But so tonight I'm just going to do a little tackle talk, show you my bobbers, some of my setups, some of my rigs, and how I actually set these bobbers up for anybody that wants to buy them. There's Mr. Junior Proctor's in the house tonight. That's a big catfish catching son of a gun right there. Oh. I know, Jeff. I know you hadn't been out there in a while, buddy. I know you hadn't been out there in a while. I hadn't either, and it's getting on my nerves. And I'm kind of torn between the two because the price of gold's gone way up, guys. And last time there's Lyle in the house. Last time I walked down there in my creek looking for some of them mushrooms, boy, I thought I need to stick this dredge in the water. I need to move some dirt. A lot of dirt. Yeah, Junior tearing them up. That's the fishing rascal, guys. I want to get him on here again one night. He's got some killer techniques for the lakes and stuff that he fishes around here. And I heard Lyle talking a while back. It's probably been 3, 4, 5 months ago. I can't remember. I was talking about a place, I think in Texas, that had a lot of standing timber in there. Well, in Monticello, where Junior his last video was at, there's a lot of standing timber. And I'm sure that he's got some techniques that anybody that fishes real bad timber water could use some of those techniques. There's Jonathan in here. Dang right, Abbott. Dang right. Man, I didn't get many of them mushrooms this year. My place just did not produce. There's new school in the house. Yeah, it's I did not get many mushrooms this year. For some reason, my spot didn't produce real well. I think it's because it has a lot of heavy flooding since last year, and a lot of it stayed underwater. Time to go bumping. Can't wait till the weekend. I hear you. May Carolina Sportsman. Check them out, guys. Jeff Manning was talking about May Carolina Sportsman. So don't forget it, guys. Share the love. All right. Before we get too far, I'm going to introduce you to the Patriot Bobber, guys. I have started selling these. If it hadn't been for old Backwoods in here, Catawba Backwoods. Catawba, have you got your bobbers yet? You should have had them. They've been gone for a while. James Dockery. You looked today, but you didn't see any. But you still had a blast. That's what it's all about. You got yours? Catawba, if you don't mind, post up on my Facebook a picture of you and them bobbers. I want people to see them. Since you taught me in to start making them, and a lot of other guys has asked for them. 812's asked for a set. I'm waiting on his money order to come in. And they got another guy that's up north. Well, actually, he's in Kentucky. Up there next to Kentucky Jim. He's up there next to you, Jim. He ordered over $100 worth of these things. And I will be sending him. He's going to put them into one of the tackle shops up there. And I appreciate him doing that. I've done got them made. I'm just waiting on everything to come through and send them out. There's Jay Catfishing, Fishing Magician, Mr. Dockery. Anyway, these are the bobbers, guys. I'm going to put one on my rod back here and show you how I set it up, how it's designed. With these bobbers, and see, they got the lightning bugs in them. There you see. All right. The way I set mine up, guys, is that you do not have to leave the whole catfish head hunters. What's going on? You do not have to leave the whole sinker slide on your line. The way these are designed is that you take, that's all you leave on your line. You put a bobber stop, extra beads, and this is all that stays on your line. A bobber stop, the plastic piece off your sinker slide, and the beads. I'll tie it on and show you here in just a second. The reason I've done this is that I was concerned by the way some of the other ones are designed, and I'm not knocking nobody's design. This is just something I come up on my own, was that I didn't like the idea of this wire hanging on my line. Most people will actually carry these clips in their tackle box. So if you decided to take the bobber off, you still got this plastic piece that you can hook that clip on, and then take your sinker and put on that clip and do away with the bobber. And then you could go back to bottom fishing. Flint Hill's in the house. There he is. What's going on, buddy? So that's why I designed it. I didn't like the idea of that wire hanging on your line if you was not using the bobber, and that's why I designed it like that. These are a lot better than the first ones I made. What's up, Nebraska Wildcats? A lot better than the first ones I made. I sent Kentucky Catman some of these, and he actually won some on the show, and he used them. And the first design I made, I didn't put the plastic piece in there. I put a long piece of wire that went all the way through this foam and tied it all together, and it was all glued in. But I underestimated how much weight a lot of y'all might be throwing. There's Glenn in the house. Well, Jim had a lot of weight, big bait, and he threw his stuff out in the water, and he got to watching the bobbers, and it looked like something was taken off of one of his lines. Actually, both of them. And I think I was on the phone with him, and what had happened was that wire tore through the foam. It could not stand it. That heavy weight just ripped the wire through it. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, Wildcats. So I decided to put the PVC in the middle of it, put this in, you see it, and go with the lightning bugs up the top. This is what it's going to come with. All these bobbers will come with the lightning bugs. The first ones I made, the first ones that's going out, that from this run, this batch of them is I'm putting it out for $7 a piece. I started adding up, and eventually I'm going to have to go up to about $8, simply because of the light and the time that's going in. I'm not using cheap sinker slides on these, and it does come with a bobber stop and an extra set of beads. So if any of you think you might want some bobbers, these are very well made. I promise you, they will not come apart like my first ones. And I'm going to send Jim another set. All right. Tackle Dog. This is one of my setups. It's a 6500 CS Pro Rocket Blue, because you know I like them red, white, and blue, guys. This is my James Burke custom rod he had made for me. It's even got my little gold nugget in there from where I gold mine. And the emblem from the fallen soldier from the honor guard. But this is my setup on one of my rods. I've got 2 rods with the Pro Rockets, and then I've got 6500s and 6000s. A buddy of mine called me. He's got me 4 6500 C3s that I'm going to pick up tomorrow. There's Trolling Flatties. Trolling Flatties. That's a cool name, too. I like it. So let's break it down and tie us on a bobber. I got a bobber stop on this line. See there, guys? I leave one on there because if J.R. Cochran from New School taught me that if you run sinker slides or just a Carolina rig with a regular weight on there, then if you put this bobber stop on your line and adjust it up when you cast it, then your bait won't outrun your lead. I see that a lot before I've done this. And when it does that, a lot of times it will start helicoptering. And if you ever reel your stuff back in and it's all tangled up mess, most of the time that's what has happened, is that your bait outrun your sinker. And then when it hit the water, when it was going down, it was doing this right here all the way down, and it causes a mess. So what we're going to do, we're going to set this one up for a bobber. Even though I might take it back off because I usually don't throw the bobbers with these rods. These rockets, I still ain't got quite the the feather and touch for these rascals. I think I still need some adjusting on them. It's that fine line with this Andy. I throw 30-pound Andy monster. I throw the blue. I'll always keep blue on these rods. My other rods, I'll probably go with that bright green line on there, because this blue line, it does disappear. What's up, Maurice? I hope you're doing fine and your wife's doing okay, buddy. I really do. Yeah. JR, that's what happens is when you casting and say this is where your swivel is without this, and your weight's down here at the bottom, and when you cast that rascal, especially if you're throwing real big baits, if you're throwing smaller baits, it is not quite as bad. It don't happen as much. Hey, Andy Pitts, Crazy Cat. Then if you're throwing big baits, and that's what we all like to throw, is huge baits, then this sinker will take off and fall behind, and this one will keep going, and it'll stretch out, and you get a bunch of line in between your sinker and your hook with your big baits on there. So when it hits the water, of course, your sinker is going to fall faster than the bait, because the bait is more buoyant. Just because your bait was heavier in the air, it's not in the water. So when it drops down, this whole thing is going to be up here going, swinging around and around, twisting up, and you end up with a freaking mess. I don't like messes, because even though that catfish might hit that bait with the mess down there, that might be the difference in getting that fish in or not. Because if it's all twisted up, then it could be putting kinks in your line, unnecessarily knots in your line, and it'll be snatching them knots tight quick. And that's the way you get a real bad weak spot in your line, and then that fish will be gone. The way I stop it, JR, is that right when my bait hits the water, I stop it, and then I let it fall vertically. Otherwise, I stop my spool, and then I'll feed my line off. If I do that, then that allows my bait to drop straight down. Now, if you're wanting it to fall back towards you some to hit, say, up on, I don't understand what you're saying, JR. When the weight in the bead hits the bobber stop, it can't go no more. And I usually set mine about 2 foot away from my swivel. About 2 foot away from my swivel. So that sinker can't slide no more than 2 foot. And that gives you enough, guys. I know some are worried about the fish feeling the weight. This rig right here is the normal rig that I throw. Usually I got a float, either a float or these fake demon dragons on there, or a real demon dragon. But I found some new bobbers. They ain't new bobbers. They've been out a long time. They called Billy Bob bobbers. And they like $1.60 a piece. There's a big difference. Big difference. If you're needing a lot of flotation, guys, look at there. That's a lot of difference in that flotation. Big difference. So I got these, and you need a bobber stop with these, but you really don't. All you need is a toothpick, guys. These are good floats. They got little metal inserts and got a plastic tube that runs down them. I don't know if you can see it. Put these on your line, on your leader, and then you shove a toothpick over on your line, and then, hold on a minute, this thing's trying to restart. And then you break it off, and that'll hold it in place where you want it without having to put more bobber stops, and you can take it back off and adjust it any which way you want. I always carry me a bunch of toothpicks in my tackle pack. All right, let me tie one of these bobbers on, and I'll show you. I love this Andy line. It's good abrasion resistant. And you see, guys, look, that thing's been tied up for a while. There's hardly any, I mean, you can't see it. I'm sorry. This stuff hardly has any memory. I love this line. Yeah, I've seen them use the 2 floats to get that bait up a little higher. And I'm working on another float just for the Santee rig. It's a softer float, not a harder float. Let me get this bobber stop up here where I can show y'all how this is going to work. It done slid down. This is, in fact, I probably need to put a new one on. This has done got loose. Yeah, that's what we're going to do, guys. Let me put another bobber stop on there for guys. Where they went that bead? See how loose that bobber stop is? A lot of times when you leave them on there a while, now when you leave them on there a while, it seems like these things get soft. I've got some rubber ones, but for some reason I must have bought the wrong size for the wrong size line, and you really I can't get them on this 30-pound line. I've tried to do it and I end up breaking something, so at the top of the water rig. No, it was Wicked. It was a regular Santee rig. I don't have one tied on. These rods I don't usually run the Santee rigs. My other rods I do. It's just a regular Santee rig, but they run 2 of these back to back. That gives them more flotation. Where when I went with these Billy Bobs, that actually makes up for 2 of them. Probably 2.5 of them. These things right here are some strong floaters. Rod holders for your boat. Fish bite, from what I understand, is good. All right, guys, here we go. Bobber stop. Slide it on your line. Pull it up. Grab one side. Oh, I'm sorry. Slide your tube off. Drop it in there. Don't pollute. And pull her tight. I do not have my clippers on me, so this is going to stay like it is. I ain't going to, all I'll do is stringer it out like that. Slide it up. I bet I got a pair of scissors. Nope. Anyway, slide your bobber stop up. Get your bead. One of the beads that come with the bobber stops have little bitty holes in them. I recommend putting them on before you put your bigger bead on. I run 2 beads. There's the first bead. This is the second bead right here. And then, what did I do about it? There it is. And then I slide that bobber stop on. I mean, that sinker slide, just a plastic piece. Slide it on. And then I tie it to my rig. But now, guys, normally with this rig, what I throw is a regular Carolina rig. Instead of tying the drop to it, for some reason, I've had trouble with this thing wanting to twist up around them. And it might be just me. It might be the way that I cast. I don't know why, but most of the time what I do, and we'll do it tonight, is I'll put the no roll on there. You got beads up there to sinker slide. And then on these underneath there, I'll put a rubber bead. And the knot that I tie, guys, is the uni knot. I've tied this knot for 30 plus years. I've never had it to fail, never had it to break in my knot. And it's easy not to tie. I'm going to show you real quick. This ain't a knot night, but I'll show you real quick the uni knot. It's very simple, and I'll show you how I can do it. You can watch the camera, watch my eyes, guys. I'll close my eyes. You make a loop with your fingers, and then you go in and out, in and out. I go 7 times. Reach and grab your tag. And there's that knot. I promise you that knot will not fail you. It's called the uni knot. It's quick. It's easy. You can tie it in the middle of the dark when you ain't got no light. Appreciate that, Wicked. Yes, I use big game now. I use the big game, Cody, as my leader lines. I use 50-pound big game leader line. And guys, a lot of times, for some reason, I found that the big game is starting to get a lot of memory. If you'll take that spool and drop it in a bowl of hot water for about 5 minutes, it'll take a lot of that memory out of your line. Now, my hooks, I do snell my hooks, guys. I do snell my hooks. And you can use that with a drifting weight or whatever. But anyway, the bobber's on. Everything's tied on. You got your sinker. You got your plastic piece from the sinker slide. And you got your 2 beads. And then you got your bobber stop. It don't get no simpler than that, guys. And if you need to add weight to that piece, I know I got them in here. Well, I don't guess I do. If you need to add weight to it, you just add the other piece of that sinker slide onto your weight, and you can do it. I thought I had one in here. Anyway, sorry about that. You add your hasp on there. Anyway, we set up for the bobber. You come in here, take your hasp, slide it on there, and you're ready for night fishing, guys. You're ready for night fishing. This float right here will float any size bait that you decide to throw. I've hung 20 ounces of weight underneath this, and it only dropped down to about this deep. Your bait it's got weight behind it, but that bait is pretty buoyant. So it don't put a lot of drag down from the surface. So, and you can set this bobber stop at any depth that you want to fish. Say if you mark a suspended fish, you in 30 foot of water and you seeing fish at 15, 1, 2, and you can do all the way up to 15. You can do it all the way up to 50 foot, 60 foot, 2 foot. Yep. We could hit me up. I'm a making them. But guys, and then you can suspend that bait however deep you want it. I like using it in shallower water, but at the same time, see, shallow water, you don't need that much weight, guys. Just enough to get it down, or if you want to make long casts, you want longer weights, or if you got current, or however you want to do it, you can do it that way. This way, well, see, I could have showed you this right here. No, I couldn't. And take that off and put it up there where the sinker slide is. But that's the bobber. That's the bobber stop. That's the way I set these bobbers up, guys. I think you'll like them. They're extra heavy duty. They come with a light for night fishing. And you don't have to turn the light on if you don't want to, if you're using them during the day. Now, that was the lime green one. Let me stick this over here. And I make a blue one. I'm trying to figure out, guys, how to make these red, white, and blue. I'm really working on it as how I can do that. I found the pool noodles that are red, white, and blue. I got blue ones, but these pool noodles, they want a small fortune for. In order to do that, I would have to raise the price of these bobbers up to $10 a piece, and I just don't want to do that. I would rather keep the price down as low as I can so more people can actually get them and use them. I'm not making much off of these. I'm doing it because I was asked to do it by Catawba Backwoods, and I seen a need. People want them. and I'm going to make them. Yeah, I'm probably going to dip the top and the bottom, maybe a top in white, the bottom in red, or something like that. I've tried paint, and oil-based paint gets hard. I tried to, but the bad thing about it, the top here and the bottom, see all them air pockets? When you dip them in paint or whatever, as it's drying, the air comes to the surface and you end up with a pitted looking paint job on it. That I don't like. I would rather leave it like this than I had to see it done this way. I'm working on figuring out how to seal this, and I think I figured it out using heat. Is to seal all these little pockets right here, and then I can do it. There you go. I don't think them toothpicks will last too long with a cast, though, Palmetto. Trust me, I've been trying to figure it out, and I'm working on something else with these as far as American flags. So I'm not going to let that secret out until I can see if it can actually take place. Anyway, all I got is blue and green. This one's got a blue light. The green one's got a green light. And, oh, that's tight. See there, guys. And you ready to go. Plastic dip. Yeah, that's the next thing I'm going to try. But I still think I need to seal these holes first. It'll twist all the way up to the knot. Kathmandu. Son of a gun. Man after my own heart. I had a catfish boat many, many years ago, and that was the name of it, except it had two O's at the end. It was Kathmandu. I mean, but with two O's, and it sure was. It was my first catfish boat. Yeah, a real active fish, if they swim up a lot coming up to your float, what I have seen people do is take a larger split shot and crimp on their line down on their leader line down next to the hook. Maybe two of them, just enough to make that fish fight that weight downward. That's probably be just enough to help him from trying to come up onto your knot and stuff. Yes, use a good swivel. You're exactly right. That's the reason, guys, that I'm not using cheap tackle on these things. Yeah, I ain't putting chain swivels on there because think about it, guys. Them chain swivels is about $1 a piece. You got lights, you got stuff that's gonna raise the price of these bobbers, and I'm trying to keep them down as much as I can. There's Buckeye catfishing. I hope I don't miss anybody. Cut part of the tail so they can't swim as fast but not kill them. Yes, that can happen. Yeah, Jeff. I've fished with some of them big old live brim and big hand size brim and perch. And them son of guns will tangle up a mess in a heartbeat. Guys, these are old cheap demon dragons. That's done stuck inside. It probably got water in it or didn't have a bead. There's a little old bead in it. And if you do order some of these from China or whatever, make sure that you paint them. I like the clear, but these cheap ones will take on water. They will take on water. But get you some of the Billy Bobs. I think, guys, you will really like the flotation of these. It's almost like the Kirby rig. I do have a Kirby rig in here, or redfish rig, as I knew it for years, fishing down there at the ocean. It's a redfish rig. And all it is basically a piece of wire and some beads. It makes a little bit of noise, and you tie your leader on the end of it. But look at there. if I can hold on to the cotton picking thing. See how much more flotation you got, even then with the Kirby rig. So if you got big baits and you really want to get it up, I can do that, PD. If I can find the red ones. It's hard to find the red pool noodles. I have yet to find them. Now, I can find pink all day long. I hear you. It's called the equalizer. Oh, I hear you. I found these up there at Bass Shack, and I just wanted to get them to give it a try. That one's got a longer leader on there. Anytime I'm using a float, whether it's a Demon Dragon, the regular Santee rig with the peg floats, or whether when I do it with these, that I like my baits close. I seen people throw them with their bobbers way up here, the baits hanging down, and longer. I personally want my bait close to that. I found the red noodle at the Dollar General. All right, I'll have to check it out and see if I can find them. Now, Avid, some of the pool noodles like we found, you can find at the Dollar General, are not as dense as these are. I started out with some of them last year, and they don't stand up to the UV as good, and the foam is not as dense as this is. Plus, the holes are never centered. I need these holes to be centered for these bobbers to be right and to look right. The holes on it, like the Dollar General, and it don't matter if you just use it to beat each other over the head with in the pool or whatever. But when you're making something like this, you want that hole in the center of it. You want it to be a good, strong foam itself that don't deteriorate in the UV. And that's one of the reasons I went with a different bobber style. Plus, a different pool noodle. Plus, a lot of them are smaller in diameter. Now, I make some smaller ones that I usually give them away. K-Bo's got a set. Not K-Bo, but Justin's daughter. I'm sorry. I just went brain dead, Justin. I apologize. So, woo, let me turn on the fan, guys. I'm sitting here sweating. Hold on just a second. Oh, I apologize. Woo. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do tonight. Turn the volume off. All right. Gabby Goose. There you go. Big Nasty's in the house. Sorry about that. Miss Gabby, I apologize, lady. Yeah, I got some more made for her, Justin, right now. They're down at the house, and I need to send to you. No, Palmetto, not going to stick no duct tape on it. I've seen some that I like to try, but yeah, I can wrap them up, but I prefer not. I prefer to do it a different route, and I think dipping is going to be the way to go. I appreciate the info, and I might end up trying it. I don't like the idea. That's something that eventually starts peeling, and I want these to be able to be used today, tomorrow, next year without any fear of something coming off. I've got flag stickers. Nothing sticks good to this stuff. I would have to use another glue. Otherwise, every time you start adding stuff to it, that brings the price up. That cuts down on the profit margin. And I would rather keep them as cheap as I can for y'all. What about heat shrink? I don't know, Kentucky. Can we find some heat shrink that size? All right, guys. Everybody give me a thumbs up. I'm getting ready to spin the clock. Everybody that's in chat tonight, give me a thumbs up. I'm giving a pair of bobbers away tonight in chat. Fishing the Rut, what's going on? Everybody hit a thumbs up in chat. I mean, you can do it over here too, but I'm talking about in the chat line. Hit me a thumbs up, everybody in here, so I can spin these things and get it going. All right, Glenn hit the first thumbs up. There's Hillbilly in there. Mr. Gadget's in there. Kentucky. There we go. Y'all got the idea. Joe Buck's in the house. Keep her rolling, guys. Keep her rolling. Let's get her spinning. There's Lyle. Jays. Keep her coming. When I spin the names, if you ain't got a thumbs up, you won't win her. Was that winner chicken dinner? Keep her rolling, keep her rolling, keep her rolling. I love that Catmandu. I started to name that my dadgum channel when I got started on here. All right, guys, here we go. We're getting ready to do our spinning. Woo. How did my name get in this? Avid fisherman. Avid fisherman. Contact me, my friend. Avid fisherman, contact me with your name, mailing address, and we'll have you a set of bobbers on the way to you, my friend. Congratulations, Avid. Thank you for coming in and supporting my show, my friend. And send me a text at 704-600-8369 or go through Messenger and send me your info, and we'll get you a set, a blue and a green bobber on your way. All right, guys. I've enjoyed doing a little tackle talk with you. I mean, I hope everybody's doing great. No, I'm not getting off here. I'm just buttoning up stuff. See you later, Flint Hill. Give me a call, my friend. And now Justin Fishing Fetish makes some drifting sinkers, guys. There's Wampus Cat in the house. Wampus Cat had a heck of a night on that on the lake last night. Him, his son, and a friend of his that's wearing them out. Yeah, message me through Facebook. Avid, you on my Facebook, I think. Anyway, he makes some drifting sinkers. A lot of people make different kind of drifting sinkers. I had a guy to send these to me, and I will apologize because I don't have his package with me right now. I kept it at the house so I don't forget who it is, because he's gonna get a bobber for sending me a set of these. He made them. I don't know what's inside of it. I feel like foam's up here at the top, but this is all that shrink tubing, and he's got weight in the bottom. He's got a hasp at the top. Seemed like they work pretty good, like they'll stand up, and I want to give them a try. When I'm starting to do some drifting, I will be doing some drifting. I hear you, Kentucky. Yeah, I don't. It feels like that led that New School and Keith from fishing and stuff. That lead wire, I think they called it. That's what it feels like inside there. And then about halfway up is the foam in it. Guys, anytime you're drifting, or dragging, or whatever, I think these things work good. Justin's are made out of I forget what that stuff's called that he stuffs in it. He stuff it's some kind of wire loom that he stuffs, and they're nice, guys. They're nice. I appreciate him doing it. He used to give them out in the show all the time, and eventually we might get back to doing some of the giveaways, guys, if we can get more people interested in it. And for guys that are new in here, it's different. It's a prize wheel, guys, but it's different than what Catfish Weekly done. It's actually a DIY. It was guys and gals that's in here in chat in the show makes a product. Justin Fishing Fetish, he done the drifting weights. I was making bobbers. Different people made different things. My Facebook page, backer rod. My Facebook page is just James Smith. You can find it through Patriot Catfishers of America Facebook page, but it's just James Smith. It's got me with the American flag behind me. Not this flag, but a different one. Oh. So, hey, guys, y'all got something to bring up? And I want you to think about some future shows, some future people. I got quite a few in here that's in chat tonight. I want to start getting contact with you and start bringing some people, some channels in onto the show. Might start doing like an hour show, but split it up with 2 30 minutes and bringing in 2 channels a night, maybe even 4, because I can bring in 2 at a time, split it up. I'd just rather do 2 a night. That way, then we can actually help each other. Some of the guys like Wicked, Wicked is just getting started. So this way we give him a shout out, we get him rolling, we help each other out, and we share the bait. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. I hope each and every one of you staying safe. Looks like we might be getting back to rolling, maybe back to doing some work. Just that's Kentucky. I actually know. Oh, sorry about that. Not going live. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did not lie. I didn't even have one today. That's what killed me. I started to lay down right before the show, and I said, nope, if I do, I'll sleep through another one. And I was not going to do that. Yeah, you gotta have some administrators in your channel, guys, because every once in a while, luckily, knock on wood, we ain't got none of them trolls in there tonight, but it would not surprise me. They always end up showing up. Sorry. Oh, I am sorry, guys. That sucks for you, your host to be yawning on you. This rod right here, guys, was won at the very first Patriot Catfishers YouTube tournament. It was won. It's a James Burke custom rod. It was won by Wampus Cat. That'll work. That'll work. Just give me a holler. You got my number. Team Wampus Cat won this at the first YouTube tournament. My God. Oh. And he called me one day about 2 months ago. Him and his son sat down and talked, and they donated this rod back to me. It touched my heart that's a $180 rod, guys. They donated it back to me. They wanted me to have it. I'm probably going to get a blue rocket to put on this one. I just don't have the funds for it right now. But it's got paracord. I personally don't like the paracord. I think it looks cool. It does. It looks great. It gets dirty if you don't seal it. But I like cork handles. Plus, I want to put that emblem into the rod. So with the cork handles, I can. Oh, I know, Bottom Dollar. It's killing me. I can't stand to yawn. It makes my eyes water up real bad. And I apologize. I suck as a host tonight. You ain't supposed to be yawning. And I'm not bored, guys. I'm having a good time. I really am. But Bert's cutting me the cork to go on here and to go on here. Bad thing about it, it's going to have to be split. Both sides are going to have to be split because of the taper. Plus, I'm not tearing the whole rod apart to get it on. This one's actually got, let's see. This one's actually got a Carolina rig with it's got a 6500 C3. It's actually got a sinker slide on there, which I'm probably going to get away from the sinker slides and just leave. I like my weight not being able to move in a way, but in a way, I like them to be able to move. But you got a rubber stop, sinker slide, and it's actually got a bobber stop on this line somewhere. It's probably rolled up in the reel. I do not have a float on there, so I love these line rattles, guys. I love the line rattles. So what I'm going to do is, since we're still doing a little tackle talk, is I'm going to get out one of these Billy Bob bobbers. Man, somebody needs to sharpen my knife. That thing sucks. That rascal sucks. Of course, I cut everything in the world. I allowed to cut bolts in half with that son of a gun. Gerber. Little goober. It started out right here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Right off of Dagon Street over there next to where I work. Billy Bob. Leader. Slide it through. Put it right there. I always add an extra bead, try to make noise. Back to my swivel. And you know what knot I tie? I tie that uni knot. See how straight that line is, guys? And that comes from just dipping this in hot water before I put it on here. Uni knot, uni knot. 5. Yep, I done let it slip. 6 and 7. 7 is the whole number. And I'm attached. But now see how that thing just wants to slide? Well, if you reach in your tackle box, grab your good old trusty toothpick, slide it right in there. You see, she don't slide. And then you just break that rascal off. And it will still slide, adjust to if you want it further away, and it will float up. That's my Santee rig, guys. I like a bigger float. I like to get my bait up. But now, when I go fishing in the wintertime, I let the fish, anytime I go to the water, I let the fish try to dictate to me what they want. It's Pillin' Drag in the house tonight. What's going on, Pillin'? Yeah, you had to remove the sticker so you don't forget, because that's the only one I do that way. Is the Big Game 50. It makes it a little bit softer. But I like that. I like that rig, guys. I like the way it works. But for some reason, and I think it was Lyle and Doc that got me really thinking about the placement of my bobbers or the placement of a Demon Dragon, was that they was talking about how much the Demon Dragon paint was getting knocked off Doc was talking about he's had some that just get crushed. Them catfish would just crush them things. All right, Brad, take care of yourself. Yeah, I heard they getting ready to be some rain tomorrow. I was wanting to go fishing tomorrow, but I think I'm gonna cancel my attempt on that one. I don't care riding the lightning and storms while I'm out on a pontoon boat. But Lyle and Doc was talking about how bad their demon dragons was getting beat up, crushed, or whatever. Well, I'm not a dummy. But I don't know. I guess that's a matter of opinion. Yes. Yes, that's sinker stop. And I think that's what New School was talking about earlier. Was that especially in shallow water, you can see that. You throw that up there, and all of a sudden you look out there and your float's on top of the surface with your bait, which sometimes might not be a bad thing, guys. Sometimes that might not be a bad thing. But with that being said, that bobber stop prevents that. There's J.R. Warskow team ghetto rig. That's what I said. Oh, so with Doc talking about them things being crushed, the demon dragons being crushed, and on them guys, I just use black electrical tape to slide it through the eyes and black electrical tape. But crushing these things, I got thinking, guys, and I've had my styrofoam bobbers just get shredded by catfish, just shredded. Why would you put your float away from your bait? If they're coming up, how was it interfering? I've never had one to interfere. The reason I'm saying is if that fish is hitting that float or that demon dragon or what a dragon shad or whatever you choose to throw, if it's hitting that and your bait's hanging out here, guess what? I'm putting this where my bait is. That's the name of the game, is attract the fish to the bait. Learned that a long time ago, white bass fishing. You know the bobbers that's this color right here that's got the little spring load on it? Well, I went catfishing at the hot hole one evening. Well, actually, one morning. Cold. Oh, it was cold. The daggone water freeze on the eyes of your rods. But they was pulling water at the steam plant, and the white bass that's when Lake Wiley still had white bass. The white bass was tearing the shad up, just tread fin everywhere, white bass everywhere. And I noticed the guys down there were throwing. I don't have none of this tackle box. No, is a clear casting bobber. It may about like this right here. You could use one of these as a casting bobber with a leader and a crappie jig. And they'd get to working it and catching them white bass. All I had was these little chartreuse bobbers, and I had some crappie jigs, so I tied on the crappie jig, the chartreuse bobber, and I throwed it out there, and they wanted it as fast as you could reel it back in. The faster you could reel it, the faster they would hit it. Well, when I was reeling it in, they was tearing the styrofoam bobber all to pieces. So I'm not a dummy, just like I said a minute ago. I'm not a dummy. So what I do, I reeled my stuff back in, reached in my tackle box, jerked that crappie jig, and throwed it down and tied on me a little treble hook. And then I stuck that treble hook right against that bobber. And when you do that, the bobbers look like this. They got a weight on the bottom of them, and they're spring loaded. If you'll work them, they work just like a Zara spook. They'll walk the dog. That thing will walk back and forth. And it drove the white bass crazy. Yep. Yep. use balloons from time to time. I've seen people use them. The balloon rigs, that's a good rig too. And the science is behind it were the feel of it. Yes. I'm going to have to get me some of them chain swivels and try them. And I've never used a balloon either, Justin. But them white bass would just, I was catching 2 to 3 to their 1. And they'd get closer and closer. And I throw it out there and I just barely reel it. Then if you reeled it slow, them white bass wouldn't touch it. But as soon as they turn their back, I start working that rascal like crazy. Bam. And white bass would wear it out. I miss them days. Lake Wiley don't have them old bass in there no more. They don't have them white bass in there. We got white perch. When they come in, the white bass just disappeared. And that's sad because it wasn't nothing to catch 1.5, 2 pound white bass on that lake. It was not nothing to do. It was actually pretty easy. It was actually pretty easy, guys, to catch them big old white bass back then in the day, but them days are gone. Them days are gone. And there's something else I do carry in my tackle bag. Yes, exactly right. I carry my digital scales, but I also carry a tape. The reason being, if you catch that one fish that you want to have mounted, you want to take plenty of pictures and plenty of measurements. That way you can release that fish alive and you can have mounts made. They make replicas that's unreal at the look if you find a good one. And by that way, they can't really make it off how much it weighs. They can make it off how it measures up. Let's see what else we got in the tackle pack. Oh, these, I got these when I was at the Catfish Conference. Whisker Seekers. This is their float rig. Now, it don't make no noise. And what drew my attention to it is, guys, I know I'm probably missing some comments. Y'all stuff's moving fast. Is this black bobber. I like black. The reason being, but I can't make it happen. Black cast a shadow. At nighttime, muddy water, you will see the black bobber before you see any other color. That being said, I ain't saying no more about it, but I love black. Yeah. The flying lure. I remember the flying lure. I remember a bunch of my buddies, boy, they got hooked right into it. They give them to me when they run out of them. In fact, I threw some away when I first got back into fishing. It was in there. But as a guy that's not in here tonight, I don't know why he's not in here. He's usually coming in here. Is Combat Carl. He got in touch with me, and he got in touch with Southern Indiana Catfish Kings, and he had some of the dragon shads made up for the tournament. I hate that the tournament did not take place. It would have happened this past weekend, guys. With that being said, they're not going anywhere. They'll be there next year, and he had these painted up, guys. Look at them things. This is my pack. I hadn't even tied them on yet. In fact, I should have tied them on these rods right here. I will be putting these on the American rods. These two are what I'm calling these two right here the Twin Towers. Dedicating everything to the men and women that lost their lives during 9/11. So I named them the Twin Towers. But these will be on these rods. Combat Carl, Catfish Kings, I want to thank you for these, for donating them for the tournament. It means Chubby Fish Outdoors. Check them out, Chubby Fish Outdoors. I appreciate that, guys. That means the world to me. The red, white, and blue ones, guys, that's a custom paint job. Now, whether he's going to keep making them like that, I don't know. But he might very well. Other little hints. You get line like this. You take your tape off. Your tape's no longer sticky. What happens? Your line starts unspooling. Get you a koozie. Stick your line in that koozie. Just another little thing to help. No doubt. You tape a whisker stick to your cord. But just in the ones I made that I sent out there to you, actually accommodated a whisker stick. That's a tough daggum little hole to cut, buddy. To accommodate that whisker stick, you got to cut it, make it where it'll bounce back. You stick it in, you turn it, and it locks it in place. Yeah, Justin, that koozie is a great idea. I used that years ago, boy, because I couldn't tell you how many times I've tied leaders on the daggum riverbank, grab a hold of him, pull me off a leader, and drop that other spool, and here it heads. It heads for the water every time. Unspools half of it off. Is just crazy. The your koozie has a beer in it normally. There's plenty of daggum. You look around the daggum boat ramp, you find all kind of koozies. I found about 6 down there. Last time Southeastern had one of their tournaments down there. I don't know if the guy got out of his truck or whatever, and they was all brand new. Kicked them out into the parking lot and didn't see them and drove off and left them. So I got them at the house, and that's what I use them for, is put my line in them. What time is it, guys? It's 9:02. Avid, I got you stuff. I got your address, your name, my friend. I'll have you a set of barbers going out of here in about 2 days. I got a lot of stuff. The wife's got a lot of stuff to mail. In about 2 days, we'll be packaging all day tomorrow. And they'll be going out in about 2 days. So look it up. Thank you, Palmetto. There you go. But guys, I do appreciate you coming in here. It means the world to me. For some reason, I'm seeing my numbers for the past 3 weeks. The numbers on the show are way down. I'm hoping that it's just because of everybody staying busy because of this so-called virus. I hope that's the reason. If I've bored you, if I've turned you off to the show by any means, or if I've done something to offend, which I very well could, guys. I don't have a filter. Or if I'm doing something that you do not appreciate or is turning you off to the show, please notify me. Send me a private message as they use putting it out on social media. There's enough of that trash on social media now. But I can't understand why the numbers are dropping when we usually had around 60 in here, and now we barely can get 30. Time change possibly. And I know it's a Wednesday night, and I know there's probably a lot of people starting and going to church and do that. I would rather you go to church, watch the show later. I'd rather you spend time with your family and friends or whatever than to sit down and watch my crazy old show. There's Lena in the house. Yeah, they're all down, Lyle. I've been noticing that. I just hope. That's why I want to ask. I just want to make sure that the Patriot James ain't offended or caused or bored you. Right now, like I said tonight, I just want to do a little tackle talk. Just want to do a little one-on-one with y'all. We got a bunch of new faces in here, guys. Please share the bait with them. Check out their channels. Let's bump everybody's numbers up. We got a year, guys. Saturday was the 18th. Next year, it ain't going to be the 18th because the Saturday will fall on a different date. But you got a year. Get them numbers up. I want everybody to hit 1,000 so we all can go live at the Patriot Catfishers YouTube tournament. But that being said, guys, God bless you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your support. Check out each other's channel. Lyle's got a show, Catfish Weekly, Monday night. Chris Siders, Tuesday night. Patriot James, Wednesday night. Avid, Friday night. Dieter, whenever Dieter decides to come in, he does his live shows. And you got Bottom Dollar shows. He used to come on right behind me, but a little bit later, he's doing podcasts. Check him out. Guys, check each other out. Share the love. God bless. We love y'all. We'll see y'all on the water. Say goodnight, guys. Yeah, Palomino. Sorry about that. Palomino, Sunday night. Kick me in the tail, Palmetto. Palmetto, kick me in the tail for not saying that. God, I love your show. I loved your cooking show the other night. You was making me hungry. Oh, guys, I'm getting old. I'm getting senile. Good night, everybody.